Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. I'm Elizabeth Doroba. Court documents have revealed additional information about Cody Balmer, the man charged with setting fire to the Pennsylvania governor's mansion on Sunday. According to the documents, Balmer has a history of alleged violence and abuse. In one incident in January of 2023, police report that Balmer punched 2 victims in the face, struck a third in the face with his elbow, strangled a victim, and tried to break another's ankle. After the incident, officials report that Balmer allegedly threatened to commit suicide and was involuntarily committed to a mental health facility. According to court documents, a temporary protection from abuse order was also issued against Balmer in December of 2023 after officials say he was emotionally and physically abusive, causing a victim to lose their job and their home. Officials say social media posts made by Balmer in recent years also demonstrate Balmer's alleged violent tendencies and contempt for government officials. In connection with the fire at the governor's mansion, Balmer has been charged with 6 felonies and 2 misdemeanors. The charges include aggravated arson and attempted homicide. A crash in Wilkes-Barre on Monday has left 1 pedestrian seriously injured. According to Wilkes-Barre City Police, the incident took place at the intersection of North Pennsylvania Avenue and East Union Street around 8:00 p.m. Police say the victim was a 54-year-old man who was struck by a motor vehicle and sustained major injuries. Officers at the scene performed life-saving measures, and the victim was transported to a nearby hospital for further treatment. According to police, the operator of the motor vehicle remained on the scene. The investigation into the incident remains ongoing. The Weatherly American Legion presented Officer Michael Iyer of the Weatherly Police Department with a citation of meritorious service during their meeting on Monday. The citation was awarded following an incident on March 22nd when Officer Iyer was dispatched to a residence in the borough for a female choking victim. Upon arriving at the scene, officials say Iyer observed the female gasping for air and was able to make out that she had a piece of food lodged in her airway. Iyer then began giving the female several blows with the palm of his hand to her mid-upper back until the victim took a much relieved, deep breath and was able to tell the officer she was okay. Iyer was recognized during the meeting for his service and his quick response to the situation that potentially saved a life. Senator Dave Argall and PA State Representative Jamie Walsh hosted a public meeting on Thursday, April 10th, to hear ideas from the Whitehaven community regarding the future of the Whitehaven Center property. Over 100 people were in attendance. The Whitehaven Center was closed in 2023 and has sat vacant since then with no plan for its future. Proposals suggested during the meeting included transforming the property into housing for veterans, affordable housing for seniors, a data center, and a public school. According to Senator Argall, the 23 buildings on the property have sat empty since 2023 and cost the state nearly $9 million to maintain in 2024. Coming up on Wyln News, members of the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry highlight the Shapiro administration's commitment to supporting and empowering Pennsylvanians with disabilities. Plus, a man from Weatherly is wanted by the Carbon County Sheriff's Office. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network and Jefferson Health, investing in your well-being and building healthier communities, because more expertise and convenient care mean better outcomes and a healthier you. Learn more at lvhn.org/Jefferson.
Hi, my name is Leslie. I'm 4 years old. Tomorrow's word will be Rain and sunny out.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cher's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazelton, 570-454-7229. Cher's is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, and our trained sleep professionals are here to help you sleep like never before. With an extensive line of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we are sure to find you the right mattress at the right price. Free delivery and removal, interest-free financing for up to 60 months, and same or next day delivery on select models.
And don't forget, everyday low prices. Stop in to one of our 2 locations, Route 93 in Escapec,
Or downtown Hazleton,
and see why Northeast and Central Pennsylvania sleeps better with Grand Central.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Welcome back to WYLN News. Pennsylvania State Police in Hazleton have announced that they will be conducting a sobriety checkpoint and roving DUI patrols in the coming weeks. The checkpoint and patrols will be in effect from April 18th to April 30th in southern Luzerne County. The program is in support of the Pennsylvania State Police Selective Traffic Enforcement Against Drunk Driving initiative. The initiative is designed to reduce alcohol-related traffic crashes using sobriety checkpoints and roving patrols on a regular basis. Members of the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry, or L&I, participated in an autism awareness and acceptance walk in Johnstown on Tuesday to highlight the Shapiro administration's commitment to supporting and empowering Pennsylvanians with disabilities. Governor Josh Shapiro's proposed 2025 to 2026 budget calls for an additional $5 million investment in L&I's Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. The purpose of the office is to assist people with disabilities in finding employment through personalized services such as goal setting, counseling, vocational guidance, and job placement. The event on Tuesday took place at the department's Hiram G. Andrews Center. Director Jill Morconi said additional funding for the program will be put to good use.
Any additional funding from Governor Shapiro is appreciated and needed at this point. It allows us to offer programs like this. Now this is a special event, but what we do daily, year-round, is offer opportunity to students helping them realize their dreams again, meeting them where they're at, providing vocational training and rehabilitation services, and ultimately changing lives for individuals, for their families, and for our community. So that funding is instrumental to help us be able to continue to serve that mission.
Established in 1959, HGAC specializes in providing barrier-free education and job readiness programs to people of all backgrounds and ability levels. In 2024, they served more than 1,300 individuals. A man from Weatherly is wanted by the Carbon County Sheriff's Office. Kenneth Kitts is wanted on animal neglect charges. He is known to have ties to the Weatherly area. Anyone with information regarding his whereabouts is asked to contact the Carbon County Sheriff's Office at 570-325-2821. Coming up on Mountaintops News Choice, we check in with Lisa Marie on this week's Wellness Wednesday. Plus, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Shenandoah, Part 3. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
Lehigh Valley Health Network is now proudly part of Jefferson Health. And when two healthcare leaders come together for the community, you can expect more. More access, more doctors, more convenience. Jefferson Health and Lehigh Valley Health Network. Together for the future of care.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, what would you do? A man calls you from Florida who for 18 months his pain is so bad, no doctor has helped him, 15 of them. 18 months of pain, he's suicidal. I went to Florida. Let's see if I helped the man.
Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lisa Marie, and I have two words, Blaze Pods. Okay, what is a Blaze Pod? It sounds kind of futuristic, real techy. Well, I am here at the Health and Wellness Center at our therapy department with Shay Post, who has her doctorate in physical therapy. And Shay is going to tell us about these Blaze Pods behind me and how they help our patients here at the Health and Wellness Center and at Station Circle in our therapy department. Welcome, Shay.
Thank you. So we just got some new technology in, and they're called Blaze Pods, as Lisa Marie said, and it's a smart technology that we can use to help train patients in balance while they do other tasks that are important, like thinking, like if you're at the grocery store and you need to think of what you're going to buy on your list, and you also need to have balance to walk. And sometimes that could be a challenge for some of our patients, like our patients with Parkinson's and stroke, and many other diagnoses.
So kind of show us, and you could talk us through it, if you will, how
Sure.
they actually work, because I'm sure you want to see it.
Sure. Sure. So we have, when you get the Blaze Pod, you download the Blaze Pod app, and there are a lot of different games you can play. So this is kind of like gamifying physical therapy, which helps motivate the patient. And so we picked, this is just one of the probably hundreds of things you can do with the Blaze Pods. And this is called Side Step and Tap. And so Lisa Marie is going to be our patient for today. And what we're going to ask her to do is a thinking task and a moving task. So the moving task is going to be walking around and reaching or tapping for the pods that light up. And the thinking task is going to be having Lisa Marie pick the right arm and the right leg to choose the correct color pod. So the pods are going to be red and blue. Okay. And Lisa Marie, you're going to use your right hand for the red pods.
Okay.
And your blue hand.
And foot to my
Yep.
left.
And the same thing with the feet. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to just get this
fun, I think.
Get this engaged. It is going to be fun. It's the patients really love them so far. So I'm going to have you start by tapping one of the pods, and you'll see it'll light up.
Okay, maybe. Maybe I'm not strong enough. Oh, there's one there.
There we go. So that's part of the tricky part of it, is you have to look around. It's going to be up and down. So it can get patients that, like, say, have a stroke, and some patients have a hard time scanning their environment. So it forces the patient to look around the environment, look left, look right, to find the pods. It also encourages them to think about what hand they have to use for which color pod, all while they're helping to keep their balance and walk from side to side.
Oh my.
So
it does remind me of the game Simon, if anyone remembers that.
It is like Simon. I remember I used to have one of those when I was younger. And
so how do you determine which patients would be best met for this particular exercise? Well, yeah.
So you can modify. The nice thing about the Blaze Pods is you can modify the exercise. So you can start with a very simple task where you only tap with the hands. You can do it in seated. You can do it in standing. Have them do it in standing. So someone from a wheelchair could, operate the Blaze Pods, or as the patient that has a stroke progresses and can walk around, and you want to challenge their balance more, then you could use the wall pods. You could move these around on the floor to encourage forward walking, backward walking, side to side.
So how about, you were also mentioning something about more for the sports, those who are a little more...
So it's helpful in neurologic physical therapy, but it's also can be used in orthopedic physical therapy for athletic training. It could help it train agility, reaction time. You can have the patient sprint back and forth between the Blaze Pods, and so you could use that. There's a variety of uses for them. I could see people maybe playing pickleball, working on balance. If we set them up around the room. Tennis, any type of sport, you could work that into. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us these Blaze Pods and how it can help people as their therapy to get better and get back to doing the things they love, whether it be pickleball or just taking care of things around the house. Thank you so much, Shay.
Sounds good.
And thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialist, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman. Watch Solo Spaceman on WYLN Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 7, and Sundays at 4:30. Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Hi, my name is Russ, and I'm 4 years old. Tomorrow's world will be bright and sunny out.
Calm returned to the Shenandoah area after the 1902 riots, and a golden era began for the town in the early 20th century, as its population reached a peak of almost 30,000 residents, easily making it the biggest community in Schuylkill County. And during this time, two former residents of this city of churches would begin paths in the Roman Catholic Church that would make their names well known. First, there was Francis Brennan, born in Shenandoah in 1894. Ordained a priest in 1920, he served the Philadelphia Diocese through 1940, when his advanced knowledge of canon law led him to be named an auditor of the Roman Rota, the Vatican's highest appellate court. Brennan would rise to become its dean in 1959, and in 1967 he would be named a cardinal by Pope Paul VI. At the time of his death a year later, Brennan had become the highest-ranking American in the Vatican's hierarchy up till that point in time, prefect of the Congregation for the Discipline of the Sacraments. In his honor, Immaculate Heart High School in Fountain Springs was renamed Cardinal Brennan High School, and served the area's Catholic students until its closure in 2007. More dramatic was the life of Walter Chiswick, born in Shenandoah in 1904. A former gang member in his youth, Chiswick was eventually drawn to God and joined the Jesuits in 1928. Thereafter, he surprised many by announcing his decision to be a missionary to the notoriously atheistic Soviet Union. And in 1940, he did sneak into the country under an assumed name and set himself up in the Urals as a logger, during which he would preach to those who would listen. But in 1941, he was arrested by the secret police and tortured into signing a false confession of espionage against the Soviet Union. Chiswick would spend 5 years in Moscow's infamous Lubyanka prison, and then a further 15 years exile in Siberia's gulags, primarily as a coal miner, before he was exchanged in 1963 for a pair of Soviet agents that had been captured in the U.S. Remarking on his release, "I am an American, happy to be home, but in many ways, I am a stranger." Chiswick published his memoir, With God in Russia, in 1964, and worked for the Center for Eastern Christian Studies at the University of Scranton until his death in 1984. Today, both the University of Scranton and Fordham University have buildings on campus named in his honor, and in Shenandoah itself, the Trinity Academy at the Father Walter J. Chiswick Education Center offers elementary education to the town's Catholic students. Shenandoah had reached its peak in the 1920s and 30s. The garment industry had taken up root in the town the former decade, and now many shirt factories augment the mines and employing residents. It was also during this time that Shenandoah got its own hospital, thanks in part to the initial push by Father Lemuel Norton of the borough's Annunciation Church. A committee of 100 officials was formed to help bring a hospital to town, and managed to purchase land from the Girard estate overlooking the community for this purpose. The town's workers, particularly those who worked in the mines, all donated a day's wages to build the hospital, which opened on April 6, 1926. The Locust Mountain Hospital quickly earned a reputation for high-quality service on its patients and continued serving the area until 1981. The 1920s also saw Shenandoah's long tradition of football excellence begin. On a semi-professional level, there was the local Shenandoah Presidents, who won 3 state titles in the early 30s and memorably held the NFL's Portsmouth Spartans to a 7-7 tie in 1933. If the Spartans do not sound familiar to you, the year after the tie they would move to Detroit and become the Lions. Several Shenandoah-born players would also make their mark on the game nationally. On the college level, there was Al Babartsky, later self-shortened to Al Bart, who was a member of Fordham's famed 7 blocks of granite line that pitched 8 shutouts between 1936 and 1937. When playing offense on those teams, Babartsky played right tackle, next to a right guard by the name of Vince Lombardi. Babartsky would later play 8 years professionally with the Chicago Cardinals and Chicago Bears. A decade earlier, Shenandoah had a more lasting NFL star in Frank Racus, whose 7-year NFL career was highlighted by his play on the offensive line of the world champion 1925 Pottsville Maroons. Although the team would officially be stripped of the world title due to a claim of territorial infringement by the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets, Racus, who would later coach at Ashland High School, and the rest of the Maroons nonetheless forever stamped their legacy in the annals of coal region and professional football. And several decades later, another Shenandoah native would join the ranks of NFL owners when Jerry Wyln, who made a fortune building apartments and offices in the Washington, D.C. area, bought the Philadelphia Eagles from the Happy 100 ownership consortium in 1963. Wyln had been a lifelong fan of the team, often driving 100 miles south to Philadelphia to see Eagles games as a young man. Getting to own the team thus was a particular dream come true for him. And Wyln would make a long-lasting contribution to the franchise beyond the owner's box. Having enjoyed listening to the then Washington Redskins fight song Hail to the Redskins while attending games in Washington, and perhaps also inspired by the fight songs played in football games in Shenandoah as well, he sought out one for the Eagles to use. A composition by Charles Borelli and Richard Cortland Harrison entitled The Eagles Fight Song that had been written several years prior caught his attention, and he founded the Philadelphia Eagles Sound and Brass Band in 1964 to play the tune at home games. The song originally failed to catch on, but regained popularity in the late 90s, and with slightly altered lyrics to Fly Eagles Fly, has since become a staple of the franchise. On the field, however, the Eagles would not often fly on the road to victory during Wyln's tenure, managing only one winning season during his time as owner. The team's on-field travails would be exacerbated by Coach Joe Kuharich's penchant for trading away Pro Bowlers. Kuharich, whom Wyln believed enough in to give a record 15-year contract, would deal away future Hall of Famers Sonny Jurgensen, Tommy McDonald, and Bob Brown by the end of his tenure. Eventually, Wyln's businesses went bankrupt, damaged in part by problems during construction of Chicago's John Hancock Building, and he was left with no choice but to put the team on the market. He would sell the Eagles to Leonard Tost in 1969 for a then-record $16.1 million. Wyln subsequently retreated back to Washington to rebuild his businesses, but remained a passionate lifelong Eagles fan until his death in 2013.
Hi, my name is Wes, and I'm 4 years old. Tomorrow's girl will be playing and sunny out.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.